Hello, hello, hello. And we are live. Have we got anybody here yet? Oh, two. Hello. Who's there? Say hello. Where are you in the world? Let me know. And let me know if you can hear me and see me okay and that it's a good connection. And I'm going to be answering your questions today about law of attraction, about blocks, about dreams, about spirituality, about energy, anything you want to talk about really, but I'm not going to be doing live readings today. So who's here? Say hello. Well, you don't have to. You might not want to show your face on YouTube. Not everybody's as mental and potty as I am. So can you hear me okay? Let me know. We are a little bit early. I did say 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. Hi, Leon. Thank you for joining us from Nottingham. Okay. What's the weather doing up there? Have you got rid of the snow yet? Is it gone? Hi, Terry. You're in America, aren't you, Terry? Hi, Glenda. I'm looking over here because that's where I've got the chat up by the side of me. Hi, Kerry. So we're going to be talking today. I did say 4 o'clock and it's 4 minutes to go, but hello there. Hi, Tina in Texas. Loud and clear. Good. Thank you for letting me know. Jeannie, hi. So we're not doing readings today. We are doing a live chat and coffee and have a chat and ask questions, fire away. Any questions, not personal tarot stuff, but anything to do with blocks, law of attraction, questions about energy, questions about spirituality, questions about health in general. I am not a doctor, disclaimer, but I might be able to give you some pointers. Yeah. Hi, Castor. Thank you. Casturi, I beg your pardon. Hello there. Thank you for joining me. So fire away with your questions. Hi, Rob in Ohio. Hello there. Hi, Sound Vibes here in Prescott, Arizona. Good morning to you. Job block. Okay, so Kasturi's got a job block. Hi, Lee in Johannesburg. Hi, Kerry H. Love this. Thanks so much. You're very welcome. So this is me giving back to you guys for your support for my channel. So we might do a little bit of healing. I'm here to answer your spiritual questions and anything you want to ask. Hello in Herefordshire. I used to live in Herefordshire, Dixie Blue. I used to live in Ross-on-Wye. Beautiful part of the UK. Very lovely. And I worked in Hereford for the council a long time ago. Kerry H would like to know the real meaning of seeing 111, 444, etc. Okay, so when you see repeated numbers, it is your spiritual team, your higher self, giving you a bit of a nudge, a bit of a sign saying, we want you to pay attention, something's going on here. Ones are about leadership. So when we see lots of ones, they're saying, can you please take the lead here? You need to do something. You need to step into your power and you need to take some action like the leader, like the emperor type energy. Okay, 444 is all about foundations, so the stability around you. So seeing 111, 444 is basically your spiritual team saying you need to take some action and make some, not necessarily changes, but leadership, empowerment to do with your foundations, security. That could be home, that could be income, whatever the foundation is for you. So when we see repeated numbers, it's a sign that something is coming towards you and the numbers are aligned with that particular vibrational energy that is coming towards you. Does that make sense? All right. Good morning, Nancy. I am doing well and thank you very much. I am safe. Okay. Leon, your biggest issue is that you feel utterly unmotivated and uninspired. Bless you, darling. I'm genuinely trying to get it back to the levels I had in my teens and 20s. I used to manifest like mad. All right. Anybody else having that same sort of struggle? Not very motivated at the moment. I was very like that for the first 2.5 weeks of January. Very sluggish, very slow. I tuned into it and I was told that it's the energy collectively. And it's because we're in that transition that you know, there's a tarot card. It's not tarot card. Which cards is it? The Between World cards. I think that's in the wisdom of the oracle. There's a card Between Worlds. When we are shifting from one space to another, that bit in the middle is uncomfortable, and it's the transition part of the energy shift. Okay, so it's like one doesn't just stop and the other one starts. Sometimes it finishes, there's a gap, and then the next one starts. And other times we're kind of merging from one into the other. And that's generally what usually happens. And that's what was happening through the first 2-3 weeks of January. It shifted as we came into Aquarius season, thankfully. So that sort of sluggish move is all to do with us letting go of the old restricted energies, and we're moving into this Aquarian, very much higher vibration, quicker moving. But it's that letting go of the old. It's like the old is dragging you back. And so the best way, when I tuned into it for me and for the readings I was giving you on the weeklies and the monthlies, was just trying to go with it. Try not to resist it. Just say, okay, right now my feet feel like I'm walking through sludge and everything's heavy and hard. And okay, so what does that mean? It means my body is tired, I'm drained, I'm perhaps not sleeping very well. And so, okay, let's just go slow. Let's just be a tortoise for a few weeks. All right, give yourself a break. Okay, so Leon, the unmotivated and uninspired, just allow it and say to your inner being that, okay, we don't feel like doing anything right now. I'm going to let you have the day off or maybe the week off, but we're going to be moving towards that motivation. So if I'm here with no motivation, I want to get over there where there's full motivation, I'm going to see myself gradually moving towards it. And how do I do that? I want to be doing everything I can to raise my vibration. So getting into an attitude of gratitude, praising yourself rather than beating yourself up. All right, because when we're demotivated, we do tend to beat ourselves up. What's wrong with you? Come on, get a grip. You should be getting on. Stop procrastinating. We tell ourselves off. And if we could if we could step into our inner being's shoes and listen to the amount of times we tell ourselves off in the day, that's going to make me feel a million times worse. That is not the way we motivate anybody else, is to give them grief. It's to give them encouragement. So encouragement and love and understanding. The energy is beginning to shift, but it is still quite sluggish. And the information they've given me is that it'll continue to feel fairly sluggish until around the 2nd of March. And then it feels like there's a shift forward, a spring forward, probably because we're going into March and the spring energy in the Northern Hemisphere here. So I hope that helps. Okay. So, you know, do the rest of you have the same sort of thing? Are you struggling with that as well? J9, hi. You're very welcome. Tina needs, meaning when left side, mainly leg and foot, are numb for 2 weeks now. Okay. So when one part of your body is out of sync, then the energy is stuck and it's blocked. So we need to look at why. There's always an underlying energetic reason. Okay. So anything to do with the legs and the feet is generally about reluctance or fear of moving forward. When it's numb, that basically is your inner being saying, I feel numb. I feel that I just can't do anything right now. So what you want to do, who am I talking to? Tina, is ask your inner self. All right. So literally imagine you're in a conversation with your being, with your inner being, and you're saying, why are you feeling numb? What's the matter, sweetheart? Tell me all about it. And then allow your inner being to communicate with you. And if you go into a still space and just open to receive, your inner being will start to tell you why. And it might be the most random things. Okay. Doesn't have to make sense to you. It makes sense to your inner being, and you want to listen to it and then work with it. All right, my darling. So I hope that helps. Carrie, very much procrastinating now. Yeah, it'll start to pick up, okay? I think if I was to imagine it, say, out of 100 miles an hour, for the first week of January, I was about 5 miles an hour, and then it went up to about 15 miles an hour, and then by about the third week, I was reaching about 50 mile an hour. But I'm still about half my normal capacity. If you'd seen the state of me last Saturday night after I did the live, I mean, to be fair, I think I did about 50 readings in 2.5 hours. I couldn't move for the rest of the evening and the whole of Sunday. I was just wiped. I'm like, okay, that was just too much. The energy wasn't there for that kind of speed. And normally I'm Speedy Gonzales, but not at the moment, no. All right, which is why I thought I'll come on and do a live, but I'm not going to do readings. We're going to do a chat. I've got the energy for a chat. So, all right, Kathy, you too are having a tough time, lost a job you loved and worked at for 36 years. Now I am lost and having a hard time manifesting a new one. Okay, so for all of you, when something isn't flowing, rather than immediately blaming yourself or the universe, what am I doing wrong? Or why isn't the universe support me? It's to say to yourself, where is life flowing right now? All right, what's the evidence? Life will always show you evidence. When you're aligned with something, you're on a vibrational match with it, it shows up. So it means you're not on a vibrational match to a new job. So before we start trying to fix it, we need to understand it. Why aren't I on a vibrational match to a job? And that could well be, and in your case probably is, Kathy, that you've been working for 36 years and you don't know how to not work, but your inner being says, is it time for a rest now? Whoopie-doo. I don't want another job right now. I want to catch my breath after 36 years. Of course, the outer you feels very out of sorts because you don't know how to be without a job. You're used to that routine of getting up and going to work. And now you haven't got it and you haven't created a new routine yet. So you feel, I've got to fill that gap with another job straight away. But the universe works on balance. And so if we've worked our ass off for 36 years, the universe says it's time for a break. And that might be 3 months, it might be 6 months, it might be 3 years. But when you've balanced back up, you will be aligned with being ready for a new job. All right? Okay. Terry saying, me too, so tired all the time, unmotivated, and all I want to do is sleep. Okay, so staying with that theme for a moment, let's remember where we are in the world, okay? Most of you watching me are going to be in the Northern Hemisphere because my Australian watchers should probably be asleep by now because it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. So for us in the Northern Hemisphere, it's January. This is hibernation time. It's winter. It's when everything goes dormant. And to a certain extent, us too. Okay, we can't go in our cave like a bear and come out in the spring. But we do slow down in the winter. Everything slows down in the winter. We're fueled by the sun. All right, the sun gives life to everything and everyone, okay? And the sun is at its weakest for us in the Northern Hemisphere through the winter. So we're not getting the energy, the vitality, the what's the word I'm looking for, please? The awakening that the sun brings. We start to come out of hibernation around early March. All right, which is why they keep giving me 2nd of March is when you'll start to feel that spring in your step. So we're moving into February in a couple of days' time, and it's a bit lighter than January, but it's still hibernation mode. So where we can, of course, when we're working full time, we're supposed to go at the same speed every day, 365 days of the year. But that's not realistic. That's not the way energy works. We are an animal. We're animal species, okay? The plants, the animals, the minerals, everything slows down and goes into dormancy in the deepest part of the winter, which is January, February and March, okay? But March, we've got that brink of the spring. The sun is getting stronger. We're starting to awaken a little bit. So the worst month is January for dormancy, for motivation. And so the more you can go with it, the easier you will find. It's when we resist the energy, we try to pull against it. It's like we're swimming upstream against the current, whereas we just allow ourselves to surrender and flow, we find life so much easier. So those of you that can, and I know not all of you can, that you slow down as much as you can, okay? So if you can't slow your job down, like I'm self-employed, I've slowed my calendar down for January and February. I'm taking less clients each week, so there's more space for me. I'm spacing my work out more between clients to give myself more recovery time between. If you can't do that, I understand, but there's other things you can do. You can turn the television off earlier at night. You can go to bed earlier. You can lie in bed longer on the weekends and on your days off. You can allow yourself to just spend more relaxation time and rest time. You know, does the house need to be cleaned today? Is it really that bad? Can it last another few days while I just put my feet up and rest? So that you are working with the energy as much as you can. All right? Okay. Nancy saying thank you, you're very welcome. Now it's just jumped and I don't know where I am. Here we go. Okay. Dixie Blue, hello. She feels the same as Leon. Trying to work as a cartoonist and stay uplifted. Suddenly feels like it's lifting though. Yeah. You're very welcome. I'm glad these little broadcasts help. Okay. Random Leo 1122. I feel so blocked with romantic relationships. How can I change this? Okay. So with blocks for love and relationships, romantic relationships and friendships too, there is always a subconscious block, a belief down there, deep down. Okay. Now, in the world of hypnotherapy, and most of you know I am a hypnotherapist, okay, there's something called secondary gain. And what this is a belief that works against your desire because it thinks it's protecting you. It thinks it's helping you. So a secondary gain is basically a belief that you're saying there, Dixie Blue, no, not Dixie Blue, who was I talking to about this? I can't remember, it's jumped. There it is, Nancy, sorry, about a block to love, or if it's at work or any other block, okay? So let's stay with love as an example. Part of you says, I want love, I'm ready for love, I want to meet my soulmate, get married and live happily ever after. Thank you very much. Other people have it, I want it too. Perfectly reasonable. We all want that, we all want love. But there'll be a secondary gain belief that says, but you'll get hurt. And then you'll have to give up control of the remote control. You'll have to, there's be the snoring, there'll be the television programs you don't want to watch, and there's all of those buts. And those are beliefs that are holding you back from love. And so that you're not aligned, it's a block. All right. So the easiest way to figure this out is that you ask yourself, if I was to put a percentage on it, when 100% is maximum and 0% is zero, what percentage of me truly wants love right now in this minute? Now, putting your hand on your heart will help you to do that, right? When I connect in with my inner being, I put my hand on my heart and I say, I'm single and I've said I'm open for love. And I go, right, how much of me is open for love at this moment? And I get about 25% of me. Okay. All right. So about a month ago, it was about 85% of me. Okay, it's now 25 because I'm now buying a house, so I kind of feel I'm moving location, I'm geographically moving a long way away. There's no point meeting anybody now because I'm moving away, so I'm not aligned with it anymore. Once I've moved, there's a belief here now that says when I've moved, then I'll get it back up. But even before I decided to buy this house, it was 85% of me that was open for a relationship, which means there's 15% of me that doesn't want it. All right. Now that's better than it was last year. Last year it was 0. I didn't want a relationship at all. I'm really happy on my own. I've been on my own a long time. It's only been the last sort of 6 months I'm thinking, yeah, actually, okay. But actually, yeah, I know isn't 100%, is it? All right. So what I want you to do, Nancy, is say to yourself, right? So you've got, I hope that I will get married someday. Hope is a bit weak. All right. It's not, I know. It's, I hope, I wish. I'd like to, but there's no guarantee there, is there? Okay, and you hope that you'll get the job and things like this. What we've got to do is say, is every part of my being wanting that 100% without any doubts whatsoever? All right, now sometimes you'll find the answer is yes, absolutely, 100%. I would kill for that job. I desperately want that job. It's the best job ever. And you are aligned with it. Okay, now, the same with love. You absolutely, not desperately, because that's need, but you're absolutely aligned. It'll come. So what you've got to do is ask yourself. So do that now, all of you that are watching. I don't know how many I've got on watching, but put your hand on your heart and ask yourself, for those of you that think you've got a block, right, about X, Y, or Z, what percentage of you really wants that? Not needs it, not is desperate for it, but really is ready right here, right now. Right? And what's the answer? And very few of you will be 100%. There's the blocks, and then we go find them. Let me know about that bit before we carry on talking about the blocks, okay? Oh, that was random Leo asked about blocks with romantic relationships, not Nancy, sorry. And Lee is saying about timing with readings. Timing is very difficult spiritually because their idea of time and our idea of times are two different things. Plus, the timelines have been moving a lot in the last 12 months. They've been shifting. But when you're aligned with something, it will come, but it doesn't show up straight away. I started aligning with a mortgage last July, and it's now being processed in January, February. It's taken some months, yeah? Not everything shows up in 30 days, like they say in The Secret, okay? So let me know about this, and then I'll scroll back up to some of these. Okay, so we've got some answers. Happy, joy, 60%. Donna, 97. See, Donna, you're nearly there. You're nearly there. Violetta, you're surprised to see 90%. Random, 75. Okay, so brilliant. This is lovely. All right. So what you're doing is, first of all, you're recognizing. What we do, let's go back a space. What we do is go, oh, it's not coming. That's normal too. But that's us in giving up mode, frustrated mode. That's us impatient mode. All of those are low vibrations. Perfectly human. Don't beat yourself up for them. Perfectly human. Jeannie, 75%. Yeah, okay. Perfectly human to go into that of huffs and puffs. But those are all low vibrations. For us to align with our rockets of desire, I'm sure most of you have watched Abraham Hicks. I've followed her for many years. That what we're doing is when we are 100% on the same path to our rocket of desire, it will show up. But we think that we are, yeah, that like, oh, why hasn't my girlfriend, boyfriend shown up yet? Why hasn't my perfect partner shown up yet? Hand on heart, how much of me feels really ready? 62%. Okay, well, that's why it's not shown up then. All right. Now that we've understood that bit, okay, we want to do everything we can to raise our vibration. So first of all, acknowledge the frustrations and the impatience and the it's not fairs, because we've all got that 5-year-old within us that wants to have a little tantrum. All right, acknowledge all of that and then get into an attitude of gratitude and get that vibration up. That is moving you towards your launched rockets, okay? And then what we also want to do is try to discover what the block is for the remaining percent. So, a few of you there have said 75%, Magdalena Prill, 100%. Brilliant. You're there. You're aligned with it. Violetta's on 90%. So what you want to do is say, okay, whatever that missing piece is, there are beliefs inside me that are blocking it. The universe isn't holding it back from me because I've been naughty. The universe isn't holding it back from me because I don't deserve it. The universe doesn't actually judge like that. We judge like that as whether we're deserving or whether we're ready. The universe doesn't. It's neutral. When we are absolutely aligned, it brings it to us, okay? So what we want to do then is look at what are the blocks within me? What are the beliefs? Do I believe I'm not ready? I don't deserve it, that it's going to get in the way, that it's going to disempower me. Most of us have had relationships where we've lost ourselves in the relationship. We turn into yes men and yes women. We're too eager to please. And it's always, whatever you want, sweetheart. And it's like, I don't want to do that at all, but they want to do it and I want to make them happy. And you end up losing yourself. And there's a little part of your subconscious that's clocked that and filed that for later reference about relationships. And then you want to come into a new relationship and that little filed reference goes, you're going to lose yourself again, you know, you're going to lose all your power. You'll have to watch programs you don't want to watch, go places you don't want to go. You'll end up agreeing to things you don't want to agree to, just like you did before. Okay, so we don't want to tell that part of us off. It's there trying to protect us. It's based on what happened before. So what we're going to do is find it and then use my Unlock Your Block program to clear it. Okay, so there's some free ones on my YouTube channel. There's the paid program below, which is $9.99 if you want that. It's in the description box. If you don't, that's fine. But there's a method to it, which you've seen me doing, and I don't need to do it again now. But you put your dominant hand on your heart and you repeat that belief for 30 seconds. I use my phone to time it. All right, I haven't got my phone in front of me, but I use my mobile phone, set a timer for 30 seconds, and I would just repeat, you know, I'll have to give up the remote control. I don't want to give up the remote control. I don't want to give up the... I know it sounds silly, but you get the picture, okay? And then that belief dissolves and you find the next one and you dissolve it and you keep dissolving them until you then ask yourself again, what percentage of me now is ready? And it should have come up a bit, okay? And you keep working like that until it's all the way there. All right. Okay. So let's have a look at some of your comments. What if you were desperate? Kathy Chase is saying, how do you get out of that energy? Okay. Good question, Kathy. So desperation comes from a place of need and lack. Now, what you've got to do is ask yourself why you are desperate. Okay, now the best way I find to do this, and I suggest to most of my clients, is get yourself a pad and a pen and write down, why am I desperate for a relationship? Okay, or why am I desperate for whatever it was? So let's say it's a relationship. We'll use that example. Because I don't like being on my own, because I don't know how to be on my own, because I'm lonely, because I'm isolated, because I'm sad, because I'm depressed. Whatever those answers are, they're pretty standard, they're pretty normal. Again, don't beat yourself up, but realize that actually you're not aligning with love. You're aligning with loneliness. What you're identifying is that you are not enough for yourself on your own. All right? So how is it that some people can be single really happily and others are desperately lonely? Okay, I'm single happy, okay? Because I've learned to meet my own needs, and I wasn't like that before, I promise you. Absolutely not. I couldn't be on my own. I was addicted to relationships, addicted to love. If one finished, it was 2 or 3 weeks and I'd get myself another one. And it would last 2 or 3 months and finish and I'd get myself another one. And it never lasted because they were each and every one of them based on need for that person to fulfill a need in me, a big empty hole in me where I didn't feel lovable or worthy or any of those good things. So it was only when I was with a boyfriend that would make me feel those things that I would feel whole. Boyfriend goes away, I'm empty again. Go and find another one, fill the space. And that cycle went on for a long time until I figured it out. Okay, and I went, right, I'm going to stay on my own until I've learnt to fill my own well, to fill my own cup, to enjoy my own company, to fall in love with myself, to be generous with myself, to treat myself, to be kind to myself. And when I've done all that, then and only then will I be open to a relationship. And I did all that. And then I found when I'd done all that, I didn't want a relationship because I was happier than I'd ever been. And I got a little bit stuck there. Okay. So, does that explain what desperation does and why it holds you back from finding love? Because what you do, you see, like attracts like. Within the law of attraction, everything you attract to you, the vibration of who you are. And if you feel that you can't love yourself, you will attract somebody who also doesn't love you. They might also be needy and desperate and they need somebody, but it's need. All right. Let me know if that answers your question, or if any of you got any other questions on that. Okay, how to move through grief. I lost my daughter in May. Oh, bless you. She was only 36 years old with 2 children. Oh, bless. I've gained 30 pounds and I feel like I just can't get out of my own way. Donna, it's early days yet. I know May, for some of us, May feels a long time ago. Generally, grief takes at least a year. You go through all the seasons and all of the special occasions without the person. Move through Christmas without them, your birthday without them, their birthday without them, the anniversary of their death. All of that will trigger the grief to keep coming up so that it can come out. Now, you can move through the grief quicker by diving into it and feeling it and expressing it, and crying and crying and crying and crying it out. All right. It's quite tough to do that, especially when you're raw and vulnerable. So generally in the Western world anyway, grief takes about 18 months for most of us to be able to function anywhere near normal. All right. And what you're doing is you're eating your feelings, which is why you've put on 30 pounds. You're comfort eating, you're comforting yourself with food. So, is that the right or wrong thing to do? There's other ways to comfort yourself, but right now your body's saying, give me chocolate or give me cakes or give me things like that. And I would say, just allow it. Just allow it. When I say in the Western world, I just want to quantify that. In the Middle East, for example, I lived in the Middle East for a couple of years when I was in my teens because my dad was working on the oil out there for an American company. And I got to see quite a lot of a very different culture. And in the Middle East, generally, when somebody dies, the family and most of the villagers will come out onto the streets and they will wail and scream and shout and throw themselves on the floor and have a complete display of emotion and emotional grief. And they'll do that right the way through till the funeral and generally for the next 2 or 3 weeks. And then it's past. And they move through their grief generally within about 3 months, whereas within the Western world, it's about 18 months. And that's because we in the Western world have been taught not to cry. Big girls don't cry, boys don't cry at all. You're allowed to cry if somebody dies, but only for about a week or 2, and now you're supposed to be over it. So we put this brave face on and we bury the grief and we eat our grief. Okay. Far better for your inner being, although it's very painful, to just scream the place down and let all that grief out. If you've got a mountain near you, you can get to the top of and stand there and scream and scream and scream and scream and scream and then cry and cry and cry and cry. You probably will shift 6 months worth of grief in 1 hour. But you have to get it out and you've got to do it safely. And for some people, they're just not mentally and emotionally strong enough to do that. It would bury them. All right. And so working with your own limitations is not the right word, but you know what I mean. Okay. Does that answer your question? Okay. Magdalena is saying that's amazing how the law of attraction works. It absolutely does. Okay. So, questions, throw questions at me about the law of attraction. Okay. Donna is my 3% is that I'm not quite ready to give up my days off. Okay. Kind of like these days to myself. Okay. So you've identified your 90% to 97% of where you want to be, 3% gone. So work on that 3% and what those allow the beliefs to come up without judgment. That's the key. Don't judge them. All right. Don't judge them. Okay. Happy, you're into Neville Goddard teaching. Yeah, amazing. Really, really good teachings. Okay. Kerry sending lots of love to Donna, as we all are. Random, I was meant to see this today. Absolutely. That's why you're here, all of you. Whenever I was on, and I will mention her, I was picked up my phone earlier and I just put it on YouTube and Zita Zuri was on live. Beautiful young tarot reader, intuitive, very powerful psychic, only a young girl. My God, she's good. And so wise and so knowledgeable. I'm shocked how young she is for the knowledge that she has, but she's very, very good. Lovely channel. Check her out, Zita Zuri. And yeah, I thought, why am I here? I don't watch other tarot readers live, but I just enjoyed spending 20 minutes with a coffee when I was on a coffee break watching her working, and I said hello. We are always drawn where we're meant to be, all right, particularly when we've asked for guidance. Okay, so all of my work around the unlock your blocks was me asking for guidance for my own blocks. I cleared as many as I could, and then I'm like, guide me to where there are other blocks I can't find or I can't see. Open the door, show me the door, show me where to go. And I would find myself drawn to a particular video or a particular book, and it's like, there's another little tick, I can relate to that. There's another little block I've just found. There's another method I've just found. I've been teaching this stuff for 30 years now, nearly, and I've learned a lot of stuff along the way, and there's lots of new teachings, and I incorporate some of those, and then I try and deliver that package to you guys to say, right, here's the Reader's Digest version of my knowledge. Okay, Magdalena, you're absolutely right. To bury your feelings with food is better than alcohol or drugs. Absolutely. Kerry, it's like we're programmed to cover up our emotions. It's not like we are. I'm a hypnotherapist and I deprogram people. That's what I do. Okay, so we've got a lot of programs. For example, judgment. I've used the words quite a few times. We are taught to judge ourselves and to judge others, and that God will judge us, and none of it is true. Okay, there's a lot of programs that we have been programmed, and all of it is learnt behavior, which means it can be unlearnt. And hypnotherapy is the fastest way to do it, and meditation, journaling, there's lots of ways. And Unlock Your Block program is reprogramming you. That's what it is. Okay. Happy is saying that he found, I don't know if you're he or she, sorry, found Krishnamurti. I can't pronounce that. Very helpful in hard times. Okay. Another question from Kerry is, my dreams are very vivid and random at the moment. What does this mean? Do we really get messages through our dreams? We absolutely do. There's two types of messages that come through from your dreams. Okay, two types. One is from yourself and one is from spirit. Okay, let's start with the spirit one first of all. So spirit dreams are guidance. They are trying to guide you, trying to show you a path, and they can be predictive. You can foresee the future in a dream. That can happen. They're extremely rare. They are very rare. Now, the others are what we all have all of the time, which is your inner self trying to make sense of your day. All right, when you go to sleep at night, you could imagine that your mind has got a lot of little helpers in there filing all the information from the day, and while it's filing it all, that can play out through our dreams, and that's just the brain's way of filing everything to be ready to start fresh tomorrow. We are also, and this happens a lot when we are anxious and worried about things, have underlying fears, and they are underlying, so we're not aware of them. They're in deep in the subconscious. They will come up through our dream state, which is when our subconscious is open. When we're in our dreams and our sleep in a semi-meditative state as well, our subconscious is open and our fears can come up. So for example, you will have had, most people have had a dream at some point in their life that their mother or their father or their child would die. And it was very vivid and very, very real, and you wake up sobbing your heart out, feeling that you've lost somebody. That isn't a prediction that any of those people are going to die. What that is doing is showing you your fear of losing somebody close to you. You might have had an argument or a disagreement. They might have been talking about moving away. There'll be something that will have prompted it. And that dream is not a prediction. It's just showing you what you're frightened of, so that you can be aware of it on a conscious level and you can then work with it to clear it. Okay? All right. Let me see some of your questions. Oh, okay. All right. I'm scrolling up because I haven't read all of your question. I'm just trying to speed read and I miss bits when I'm doing that. Winston's saying money is the only thing that saves you. Oh, Winston. Um, it's not, sweetheart. Money, when we focus on money as being the savior, we make money responsible for our happiness, and it's backwards. It's the cart before the horse. We have to make ourselves happy and responsible even when there's no money, and we get into a really good high vibration and feeling abundant and prosperous in all ways, and then money shows up. And so it's a little bit the other way around. Okay. Carrie's saying, I screamed into my pillow when I've experienced loss. It does help. It absolutely does. Also allowing anger to come out. Anger is one of the stages of grief, and allowing your anger to come out. When I was working through some grief some years ago, I was lucky enough to be living in a seaside town, and I would go down to the beach. It was a pebbled beach, and I would sit on the beach and I would feel my anger. And I would hold some pebbles in my hands, and I would literally imagine all my anger coming out and into the pebbles, and then I would throw them as hard as I could into the sea, like and with that there's a release of the anger, and I would sit there for an hour throwing pebbles till my arm ached, but I'd go home and feel much calmer, and I'd released a huge amount of the anger. Things like that can help too. Okay. And punching pillows. I have a tantrum and punch pillows. Just allowing anger as a natural emotion. Let it come out, okay, in a constructive way rather than a destructive way. So the reason that there's a lot of dreams being wild and vivid and random at the moment is we're in this shifting energy. So we're feeling it on our inner being, and we feel disturbed because the energy is disturbed because it's being shaken up and changed. And so that plays out through our dreams. And Ileana is saying, you had a reading with me. I remember about moving to Portugal. But when it came to my boys going to a Waldorf school, the card showed no. This made me no longer want to move, as if they can't attend this school. All right, that's really interesting, because what that's showing you, first of all, never give your power away to a reading, even if it's one of mine, okay? If it really feels right for you, for your boys to go to that school, then you can make it happen. You are the master of your own destiny. People can give you guidance of the alignment you have at the time or the energy that's around at the time. But when you really want something to happen, you can absolutely create it. You are the creator. So what this is showing you is that there is an attachment there and a condition, all right? So I only want to move to Portugal if my boys can go to that particular school. So there's that only if is conditional, which means that I'm not fully aligned with the dream of moving to Portugal because there's a condition attached. Okay, so it's like, right, that conditions are like blackmail, and the universe won't be blackmailed, and we're not fully aligned with something if we feel we're having to blackmail it. It means we feel we have to force it or push it. Do you see what I mean? I know I'm exaggerating here, but hopefully you get the picture about conditions, either or, if or, this sort of thing. So what it's showing you is that you're not fully aligned with moving to Portugal, because if you were, you wouldn't care what school they go to as long as it's a decent school. So actually what it's showing you is your priority is to get the boys into a Waldorf school. So is that the priority? And then align with that. And this is the thing with the law of attraction. The universe can't deliver what we want unless we're very clear what we want and that we're fully aligned with what we want. All right. So you are partially aligned with Portugal. You're more aligned. So it might be 50% aligned with Portugal and 80% aligned with the Waldorf school, or 100% aligned with the Waldorf school. So if there's not a Waldorf school for you in Portugal, it's like, well, that'll fall away. Let's look at Spain or France, or let's not go. What's going on? And you need to go in and question yourself, your own desires, your own heart about what is right for you. All right? Does that make sense? Okay. Vivian, hello there. I'm so glad I see this as I'm trying to move forward and leave the past in the past. Okay, so that could be a block. And you say to yourself, again, hand on heart or with a piece of paper and a pen, and you write down any part of my past that I have not let go of. Right? And then you allow yourself to open up and come through. And so said this, or so did that, or I'm still angry about. Write it all down without judgment. Write it all down. And, you know, when you write all your blocks out, as one of my clients said to me the other day, she said she wrote about 12 pages of blocks. When they started coming, they just kept coming. And I said, great, don't worry how many pages it is. You just work through them and clear them. And it takes 30 seconds to clear a block. All right. So if you've got 10 pages of blocks, you can still get them done inside a week. All right. So don't let it think, you know, oh, I'm overwhelmed. You know, when I was I wasn't even wanting to stop smoking. I was working on using unlock your block for smoking. And I was just thinking, I wonder if it'll work on smoking. What are my blocks to smoking? I wrote out about 20 pages of blocks to me stopping smoking. And I was like, oh my God. And I worked through them. It took me about 3 or 4 days. And then literally towards the end of the last day, I was like, I don't think I want to smoke anymore. Are we going to quit? Oh my God, are we really going to do it? Yeah. So don't worry about how many pages they are, but you need to be aware of the blocks so that you can clear them. Okay. Libra love, is it better to be specific or general with manifesting? And is there a best method? Okay. So it's really good to start general. Really good to start general. So you get into the feeling of what you're trying to manifest. What does it feel like? All right. What is this thing that you're trying to manifest? So does it feel liberating, uplifting, empowering, happy, joyful? What's it feel? So you get into the feeling. Use your general stuff. Okay. So the more you can feel the feelings of it in a general way, the more you're aligning with it. Then you can put the meat on the bones with the detail. All right. But be careful with too much detail. So, for example, I might be saying, I want to manifest a new love that's the love of my life, that's my soulmate. And I want him to be 6'2", dark-haired, handsome, kind, loaded, really nice car, loves his mum and dad, got kids, grown-up kids, don't want little kids. And I've made a big list. All right. A big list. All right. Now, how stuck to that list am I? Because if I command the universe, it is so, and the universe goes, okay, your wish is my command. I haven't got anybody like that right now. Check back in 5 years. I have got somebody almost like that, but he hasn't got children and he hasn't got dark hair, he's got blonde hair. Is that okay? And I would say, yeah, that'll do. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So this is when we want to be not too specific, because we are restricting the universe to only bring me that. Okay. So when I'm manifesting, I start generally with the feeling of it, and then I put some meat on the bones, but then I leave it fairly open, saying this or something better. All right. This or something better. So, for example, when I first discovered last July that I actually wasn't too old to get a mortgage and it wasn't impossible, and I had to put certain things in place and get certain accountant stuff together and deposit together, and that was going to take me a little while, I started manifesting my own home. And I worked with the feelings of what does that feel like? What does it feel like? Oh my God, liberating. I can paint a wall. I can change something if I want to. I can put a nail in the wall without worrying. I can freedom. All right. I've been renting for a long, long time. And you know what it's like with renting. There's so many rules and restrictions. I'm allowed to paint this house as long as it's white. Okay. I would like to have a blue wall, but I'm not allowed to paint it blue, right? You'll see in a couple of months when I've moved, I'm going to have a blue wall behind me, just because I can, right? So it's about saying, what's the feeling of that? For me, it was liberation, empowerment, choice. Then I start to put the meat on the bones. I want a house, not an apartment. I need an outside space. I love gardening. I love being outside. I love to have plants. I love to have bushes. I love to sit in the sun. So it must be a house and it must have a garden. And then I start saying, and I want a dishwasher, and I want this, and I want that. And then I went, no, right, whoa, 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 whoa. All right, now I'm getting too specific, because there could be the right house for me that there isn't space for a dishwasher. And I've immediately then crossed that off as an option. All right. So I came back saying, right, what's actually the priority for me with this house? All right. So I know it's a house I want, and I know I want it to be mine. I set my budget. I want it to be within this price, okay? And then I set the age limit. I don't want it to be more than 50 years old, because I don't want to have to deal with maintenance of a very old house. Lots of Victorian Edwardian houses in England, as I'm sure you can imagine. So I set that, but other than that, I said I let go. But then it kind of comes back to, what's the feeling you want to feel when you move? All right, you're happy, and I've listed those things. I want to feel part of a community, part of a tribe. Where I live now is beautiful, but it's very isolated. I don't have any neighbours. And I would like neighbours. I'd like a community. So I'm putting those kinds of things on it. But again, I say this or something better. So when I'm manifesting, I feel the feelings. Then I do a general idea. It wants to be a house, and I want a garden. All right, and I need a minimum of 2 bedrooms, because 1 bedroom is where I work. This is my office. This is where I work. 3 would be lovely, but 2 is essential. I've ended up with a 2-bedroom, very tiny house with no room for a dishwasher, but with a lovely garden. And it's on an estate where my son lives with his wife, and my best friend lives about 20 minutes drive. And my mum and dad live about 20 minutes drive, and my other son lives about half an hour drive. So I have support, community, family. And that was what I put on my order to the universe. I want to be part of a family. And what I was looking for initially was to live near where I live now. My daughter lives 10 miles away, and I wanted to live where she lives. And I went for 2 different houses there in 2 weeks, and each one was a no. It was blocked, and I cried, and I cried a lot. I was so sad. I really wanted it to be there. And then I let go, and I said, okay, show me what I'm doing wrong, and what's going wrong. Why are they being blocked? Okay. Is it because it's not time yet? Because somebody had told me I wasn't moving till June. 2 people told me I wasn't moving till June. And it's January, and it takes about 2 to 3 months to move here, which would be April. So maybe it's too soon. Show me what I'm doing wrong, or give me guidance. And the next morning, my youngest son rang me from 150 miles away, where he lives, my mum and dad, where I'm from, where I was born, and said, I think you should move here. And I was like, that is so interesting. And so I tuned into it, and it's like, yep, that's why it was blocked here, because you're meant to be there. Okay, all right. So I went and looked in his area, and there was this little 2-bedroom house about probably 400 yards away from his. And it's a lovely little house, a bit smaller than I would have wanted. But I rang him and said, is that a bit too close for you? And he went, no, it's fine with me, because you've got good boundaries, and it's fine. I'm happy. So I bought it. And it just went through, no problem. Easy peasy. Okay. So that's manifesting. General, feel the feelings, then add a little bit of meat to the bones, but try to leave it reasonably open for the universe to know best, because they can see more than we can, and they can see further, and they can also know what can come in. And so when we're open, but we've set the feeling, what I wanted to feel was part of the community, supported, loved, safe, a beautiful little house that didn't have any maintenance. This house is 2 years old, so it's almost brand new. Everything that I said I really wanted, I've got. And the wish list bit didn't. I haven't got a dishwasher. I haven't got a 3rd bedroom. But it's okay. It's okay. And as they said to me, this is a starting point, not a finishing point. And I went, yeah, okay. Maybe in a couple of years I'd be able to afford to put a little extension on or something to create a little bit more space. But for now, this is lovely, and I am hugely grateful. So manifesting, that's how we do it. Does that make sense? Any questions about that? Okay. Let me read some of your comments while you carry on asking me questions. Okay. So I've read that one. I hope this is helping, giving you some information. Kathy Chase, I'm in my early 60s and still struggling with loving myself. Kath, what you've got to do is first of all, the key that blocks self-love is when we are constantly criticizing ourselves. And many of us do that. I want you to start being mindful, in other words, take notice of how many times a day you criticize yourself. Be really aware of it. Every single time you tut yourself, you sigh at yourself, you tell yourself off, and just be aware of it. And once you're aware of it, you will suddenly go, that's why my self-love's no good, because I'm continually beating myself up. And then you do the opposite. You praise yourself, you reassure yourself, you tell yourself you're amazing, you do some mirror work, right? Do any of you guys know what mirror work is? Okay, you sit in front of a mirror and you look in your own eyes and you say, I love you, Julie Poole, you're fucking amazing. Or words to that effect, excuse my language. You start to love you, connect with you, and then your self-love comes up. There's lots of techniques, there's loads of stuff on my website about that. You have a look under the audios, there's loads of stuff about self-love there. Okay, so Libra love, I've answered your question. Jewel, that's my problem. Jewel, oh, that's nice. I like my very close friends call me Jewel or Jules. I don't know how, but when I started to learn about law of attraction, many spiritual teachings and topics are just popping up, and at the moment I feel a little lost. Oh, it can be a little bit overwhelming, can't it? I think the key is that you stick, there are so many really good teachers, but they can be teaching different methods and different focuses, and so is it focuses or foci? I don't know, but they could be teaching in different ways, and if you're new to it, it can become a little bit overwhelming. So I would suggest that you find one teacher for now that you stick with for a month and just watch that one person, learn what they have to say and absorb that. I really like Abraham Hicks as the best law of attraction teacher out there. And there are lots of others, but I would stick with her or somebody else you prefer, but stick with one for say 4 weeks, then move on to somebody else for 4 weeks, and you'll see that some of the bits they might contradict each other in. That's all right. There isn't actually a written rule book saying this is correct and this isn't. You feel the bits that resonate for you, but most of them should have the same common thread. It's about the feeling. It's about you stepping into that you are creating this. It's not some gift from the universe given to you for a job well done. If you are not aligned with it, it will not come, no matter how good you've been and how much the universe wants to reward you. The law of attraction doesn't work like that. It's you get what you are. All right, you get what you are. You get who you are with yourself, okay, and you get what you are with yourself. So everything is about a reflection of your relationship with you. Okay, that's how it works. All right. Thank you, Madeline. That's very kind of you to say. Jay Karma, you've been seeing 755 for some time now. Okay, 7 is a very spiritual number. It's also the number of the writer, meditative and insight, and 5s are about change. So that would indicate they are asking you to allow your spiritual development and insight and intuition and personal development too, because they go hand in hand, to begin to change and evolve. We constantly need to be evolving. We learn one thing, we absorb it and we consolidate it, and then we want to be on learning something else. And sometimes we can get stuck in one form of learning or being and then just stay there a bit too long when it's time for us to move on. Think about the school system. It's a really good example to use. We do not have the same teacher at 18 that we had at 3. Okay, we get our nursery school teacher, kindergarten teachers are not at the same level as a high school teacher, is not at the same level as a college teacher, is not at the same level as a PhD teacher, a professor. They are all teaching us at different levels. So we need to step up to the next level. And that message for me is saying to you, you're ready to step up to the next level. Okay. Okay, Deanna is saying you wonder what's blocking your house selling. Okay, that you try and sell the house and it's not going. Okay, so talk to your house. All right, that can be a block. This is where I start to get a little bit weird for some of you, but yes, houses have They don't have feelings, but they have an energy, okay? And a house, you know when a house is loved, and you know when a house is neglected. A neglected house feels cold and flat, and a loved house feels warm and cozy and enriching, okay? So sometimes when you've been in a house a long time and you've loved it, and the house doesn't want to let you go. I had that with this house, all right, because I wanted to go, and I was like, something's in the way, and I thought perhaps the house doesn't want me to go, and I had to have a little chat with my house and say, thank you for having me for, it'll be nearly 4 years, apart from my little stint in Spain, and I've loved you, and I still do love you, but it's time for me to move on now, and I will make sure that the right person comes for you, and nobody's going to be nasty and neglect you. You're going to get another person to love you like I've loved you, but it's time to let me go. And then I felt it shift. So try speaking to the house. Also look at your own blocks in terms of, do you have fears about where you're going to go? Because if there is a fear in there saying, but where am I going to live? What happens if I can't find the right house? Those will block you. Okay, so have a look at some of those. Okay. SN Jackson, this is so amazing. I just purchased one of your programs. Thank you so much. I hope it helps. I felt so inclined and pulled to watch this as I've been having such a huge spiritual awakening. Brilliant. So many people are waking up now. All right. There's been big transitions over the years that I've been doing this, because I've been doing this since 1982. Yes, I am that old, yeah. And it was very weird then, and nobody was really doing it. But there's been big awakenings. There was 3 in the 90s, massive one in 2000 and 2011 and 12 and 17 and then 2020 and yeah. But a huge shift since the millennium. So you're waking up now and playing catch up. And don't worry about playing catch up. I've seen people come from having no clue about spirituality and come whooshing past me and taking off. Okay, so like Zita Zuri is one of them. She's 21. Unbelievable spiritual power in that girl. Okay, so don't worry about how soon as you started, you will catch up. Okay. Naledi Molio, sorry. I dreamt that someone gave me a large amount of money. I have some financial stress, but not so much as overwhelming. Should I interpret that as a sign I'm going to be okay? Yes, that's your inner being assuring you, reassuring you money's on its way. When we believe there isn't enough, what do we create in terms of law of attraction? Not enough. Okay, but it's very difficult to get into the believing there's enough when there's nothing in my purse, nothing in my wallet. How do I shift my energy into the right vibration? A dream, a message through a dream is a fantastic way. A reading is another way. Somebody saying to you, I see money coming for you. All right. It can be in a dream, or it could be somebody like me saying, yeah, financially you've got the 10 of Pentacles, you're going to be fine, right? That is a message for you that your inner being wants you to hear in order to shift your vibration from over here, there's not enough, to over here, it's all going to be fine, nothing to worry about. Because over here, I'm now aligned with money being able to come to me. Over here, I wasn't. So this is it flips the switch. Okay, and this is why and how readings can be so hugely healing to get you on the right path and get you on the right vibration. And a lot of the private readings I do is about that, is about being able to say to somebody, yes, love is coming. They might be over here, it's never going to come, I've given up on love. And I say, I can see somebody coming for you, and then poof, their energy goes over here, which aligns them with it, because their inner being has guided them to have the reading, because the inner being is saying, I'm trying to line love up for you, but you're not a match. You're not a match. Okay. Imagine yourself like a Hoover, a Dyson, a vacuum cleaner, any vacuum cleaner. Okay. There's the dust, and I'm going over here. I'm not getting the dust. I'm not aligned with the dust, okay? That's the way these things work. So what it does, having a reading or having a dream or reading a book or listening to a podcast, anything that shifts your vibration from over here to over here aligns you up with what you're trying to create. And that's why you can be drawn to particular videos or particular books out of nowhere, because your inner being or your subconscious, or sometimes your conscious, you've been saying, show me the way. And then you're shown, all right, to get you lined up with it. Okay, so yes, there's money trying to find its way to you, and they're trying to line it up with you. So be knowing it, not hoping, wishing on a star. Know it. It's on its way. I know it's on its way. All right, I know it's on its way. So I'm doing this at the moment. I don't know how this happened. Let me tell you this story. I've got to share this with you. You'll like this a lot, I promise. So last July, I'm having a little chat with the universe about what's my next stage is. And I've worked very, very hard over the last few years, and I'm finally debt-free. And I then sorted out my kids, each one of them, the three of them, all had a little amount of money towards their weddings. Two of them are getting married. One got married a few years ago. I didn't have any money at the time, so I gave them all a couple of thousand, and I bought my daughter's wedding dress, and I sat back and I said to the universe, is it my turn now? Is it my turn now? Yes, please. I want to be able to have my turn now. I'm ready and I deserve it. And I've sorted out all my responsibilities and all my debts and my children. It's my turn. And what's next to me? Thank you so much. I am ready to receive. And this is the way I was. This was last July. Within a few days, my youngest son rang me and said to me, so have you sorted everything out now? Are you now completely out of debt? And I went, yep, I am. And I've actually starting to get some savings together. And he said, won't be long before you'll be able to buy a house. And I said, I'm too old. I can only get a mortgage till I'm 70. And I'm 57 now. And to have a 12, 13 year mortgage, the payments would be horrific. And he said, I think you can get a mortgage to 75. Let me talk to my guy. And then he rang me back. Yeah, I've spoken to my mortgage advisor, the guy I used to buy my house, and he said he can get you a mortgage to 75. And it all happened within a couple of days. And that 5 years made all the difference of bringing the payments down to a level I could manage. And I was absolutely stoked. So I spoke to this mortgage guy, and almost in tears. And he said to me, but you've got to have 15% deposit. And houses in this area are about 200,000. Ridiculous amount of money. So that's 30 grand I've got to come up with. And I'm looking at my little pot of savings, about £4,000, and going, that's going to take me a while. Okay, no problem. Okay. So I said to the universe, thank you so much with helping me. You bring me the work, I'll do the work. Thank you so much for this financial flow that's coming towards me so that I can realise my dream of owning my house. I don't mind if it takes me a year, 2 years, 5 years. I'm not going to set expectations that it'll take that long, because that will hold it over there. But I am ready to receive, and thank you so much. And a week later, I had a letter in the post, which I opened, from a company called Zurich. Who the hell are these? What's this spam? I don't know these people. What do they want? They're probably trying to sell me something. And I opened this letter and I read it, and my brain and my eyes did not compute. And the letter said, the pension that you took out in 1998, that I didn't know about, that I have no recollection of, that I was in a job for less than 6 months, has matured, and you're over 55, so you can take this pension out or you can keep it for when you're older. And it is just under £20,000. And I just, what the fuck? You are kidding me. What? And that was all within a week. I got on the phone and it was real, and yes, I could cash this out, and I had to pay a third of it to the taxman, but that's okay. It was still a significant amount of money towards my deposit, and shortened the length of time it would take me to save the rest hugely. And so I said to the universe, thank you very much. I'm on track to buy my house, and it'll come when it's meant to come. And then the following month in August, they guided me to make 2021 videos early. Everybody's struggling and you want the money for your deposit. Let's put the two of you together. I did the work. It was a lot of work, and loads of you bought them, and a lot more money came into my pot. And basically then I had another message the following month. We want you to do more work, have a week's rest, because you're going to go boof. We want you to do the Unlock Your Block program, and you're going to sell that, and that's going in your house fund. And so I did. And so basically I did not stop working, but I now have the full deposit for to buy my house. So Thank you very much. That is how the law of attraction works. I lined up with it. I felt the feelings of it. I allowed miracles to come. I cleared my blocks to, I'm too old for a mortgage, I can't afford the payments, it's too much of a pressure, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, we're all good. We're all good. That's how it works. Now, I'm not telling you this when I know so many of you are struggling financially to go, ooh, look at me, the big I am. Not at all. I'm telling you this because any teachers that are trying to teach you something they can't do themselves, are they aligned with it? I don't know. I tend to trust the people the most that lead by example. Like Abraham Hicks teaches the law of attraction and is enormously wealthy and has had everything that she wants and desires. And so when she tells me this is how you do it, I believe her. Okay, so I'm telling you this to help you. This is what worked for me, and this is my understanding of over 30 years of learning about this stuff, and I'm trying to share it with you so that you can get the same results. You know, I'm telling you, 2 years ago I was in debt of over £15,000. I had no money, no savings, no nothing, and now I'm buying a house. I cleared my debts, I sorted it out. That, to me, if I look at it, is a miracle. It's a miracle. Right? But it's not a miracle. It's the law of attraction in action when you do it right. And that's what I'm trying to help you to do. Okay? Make sense? Okay. Let me have a look at some more of your questions. Glenda, you lost your husband on January the 1st. Oh, bless you, darling. That's very recent. Sending you much love and healing. Exercise is working to release the anger. Really good. Well done. One day at a time, one moment at a time. Absolutely. Can we all send Glenda some love and healing, please? Ileana, thank you so much. I loved your reading. Thank you. Gloria, I'm coming in late. It's all right, lovey. How do we stay in a good feeling long enough to attract what we want? How long is long enough? How long is long enough? Okay, how long is long enough? When we get in a good feeling and a good vibration, how long can you hold that feeling before it fades away? If nobody gets in the way and you're not triggered by anything, how long can you hold it? I can hold it for hours and hours and hours. If I don't put the news on, which will bring me right down, if I don't get annoyed by silly things, I can hold that for ages. So it's about saying, is my life fairly calm and fairly tranquil where I can work to get in a good feeling and hold it? Or am I surrounded by negative, toxic people and situations? And if the answer is yes, then what can I do about it? All right. Now, don't go into victim mode and say I can't do anything about it, because you can. You absolutely can. All right. So there's some people you can remove from your life. If you're in a toxic job, you start looking for another job. But basically it works with the law of attraction is that you set the intention there and then. As soon as you realize this, my life is surrounded by toxicity. This is not good for me or my vibration. I choose a better vibration. I choose to be aligned with a higher vibration. Therefore, I'm going to hold my vibration, and anything that doesn't match me is going to fall away. That might mean I lose my job, and it'll be like, okay, I trust another one will come. Or that might mean that that person leaves my life, or we have a big blow up and I kick them out of my life. But I've aligned with an intention that I no longer want that life of difficulty. I want a life of hyphenal ease. Oh, we froze there. I'm back. Are we still there? Yes, we are. We're still here. We're okay. So let me come back to your question. Grief is intense at times, Tina. Gosh, hang on. I'm behind with the comments and I don't know where I am. Let me scroll up a little bit and read some of your questions a minute, okay? Because I'm here to answer your questions. I want to make sure I do. I've answered that one. Glenda, we were just talking about. Gloria, we were just talking about. Okay, so Gloria, that's how you stay in the good feeling long enough. So what you want to do is get yourself in the feeling first before you try to manifest. When we try to manifest from a low place, it's just, we can imagine launching a rocket that's wet and it just goes, okay? So get yourself in a good feeling before you launch your rockets, then launch them, and then feel even better because I've just launched my rockets and the universe has had my order. I can get on with my day knowing that things are being rearranged. The universe is rearranging itself in order to bring me those things that I've been aligned with now, okay? I talk about this a lot in my angel books. I don't know if any of you, I know quite a few of you have read them and bought them, but in my angel books, I do explain this as a trilogy of 3 books about basically how the universe works, but I weave it into the story so it's not boring. So, okay, Tina's saying that the grief is intense at times. Yeah, it will. It will come out of the blue and surprise you. One minute you'll feel okay, the next minute you'll feel as if you've been whacked over the back of the head with a baseball bat. You watched your husband of 23 years get killed in front of your eyes. Oh my God. Okay, so what I want you to focus on here is that it's not just grief you're dealing with, it's shock, okay? And shock is a very powerful emotion linked with grief, and that also needs to be healed, okay? Kaz, hi sweetie, I barely remember my dreams, rarely, but I have had occasion where a dream has come back to me in a split second, so I knew what to do. There you go, okay. Well done, okay. Tina is saying, honour what you're feeling in the moment you're feeling it. It will pass and there will be something in it to teach you an important message. Couldn't agree with you more, Tina. Really good advice. And how do you unlock the blocks you just mentioned doing? Okay, Gloria, there's my Unlock Your Block program, which is, the link is below. If you want to buy one of those, they're $9.99. Or if you don't want to buy them, if you go onto my channel, there is a playlist called Unlock Your Blocks, and there is me showing you how to do it, okay? I did talk about it earlier, so I won't repeat it, but it's all there for you free on YouTube or to buy the actual program from my website, okay? Libra Love, thanks for all that great info. You're very welcome. You're manifesting both those things, soulmate and a move. There you go, okay. And I was saying on the video I put up last night that the law of attraction one I put up last night about unlock your blocks, that, you know, I was looking for a relationship, open to a relationship. I'd started to date, and then I could feel my energy moving away from it as this house came up. And so I was still kind of trying to arrange dates, and I just thought, this doesn't feel right now. It feels like, so I just asked myself, how much of me is now aligned now in this moment with dating? And it was like 20% odd. So I went, right, leave it alone. You're not aligned with it now. You're not aligned with the relationship because your focus is on the move. And with manifesting, it needs to have all of your attention. So when it's watered down, I'm trying to manifest over here and over here and over here. Oh, and don't forget there and don't forget there. They're all getting a little bit watered down. I'm not saying that they can't come when you're diverted like that, but in my experience, what's worked for me, I'm not saying it has to be this way, but I know what's worked for me is that when I put all of my attention into something, it comes off. So I put all of my intention into starting a YouTube channel. It's 3 years ago next week, I think, that I started doing tarot, and I wanted to grow a channel and get a good basis of supporters and people, which I have. I gave that all of my attention. And then I started manifesting, clearing my debts, and moving to Spain and moving back from Spain added to that significantly. It made a right mess financially. And I just said to them, okay, they wanted me to go because there was a lot of lessons and growth in there for me, which I achieved. And I came back and I said to them, okay, I need to clear this debt. So I had a lot of debt and credit cards that were maxed, an overdraft that was maxed. I had no car. I had hardly any furniture. I was in the poo, really. So I just said, right, we're going to focus on this. And I put all of my attention into it. They kept bringing me different inspired ideas, and I do them, and the money would come and the clients would come, and I was working. And it took me 18 months. I bought all my new furniture. I cleared all my debts off. I bought a car initially on finance, and then I paid that off. And I did all of that in 18 months. And I didn't even think about dating. I just put all of my attention into that. I lie there. It's not I lie. I did consider dating, and then I thought to myself, I'm actually totally focused on work and financial stability right now, and I really don't have time or attention for a relationship, and that's not fair. You need to put into something what you're willing to get out of it. And if I'm only going to put an effort in to meet somebody once or twice a week for an hour or two, and they want more, that's not fair. I'm not really in a position to offer them anything. So I just thought, no, just don't even think about dating right now. So I didn't. And I got myself out of debt. That was my focus. Once that focus was off, my focus is I want to help my children, because I haven't had the money to help them. So I did that over the next 5-6 months. And then it was, I want a mortgage. I want my own house. And that was July. And here we are now in January. So 5-6 months later, I'm now achieving that. When that's out of the way and I've moved and I've settled, then I'm going to focus my attention on, right now, I'm ready for my soulmate. Okay. And I will give it all of my attention. And I don't want to put expectation. I expect it to be in by so-and-so. It'll come when it is meant to come. But it'll come. Okay, so my advice, I don't like giving advice, what's worked for me is one thing at a time, all right? So you guys who are going through grief and heartache and hurt, manifest a release of the grief, manifest a release of the heartache, okay? It's not just for money and things, it's for the way we feel. I choose to be free of this grief. I choose to be in a really strong, happy place. I choose happiness. Show me the way. And then align yourself with that. Thing is, with grief, it's an iffy one because people don't want to let go of the grief. As a therapist, I've worked with many people grieving, and they can be very stuck in the grief because they feel and believe falsely that if they let go of the grief, they let go of the person they're grieving for, because they become one and the same. And they're not, they're separate. You never let go of the person you loved. Love is eternal. It's in your heart and the energy flows always. But the grief can go so that you no longer feel upset or in pain when you think of the person. You feel the love and feel the happy times and the happy memories, and it doesn't hurt anymore. So those of you hurting, I want you to be able to focus on that as your manifesting goal, to be free of your pain. Okay. Let's have a look. Where are we? Kazian, one of your phrases that registered with me is, I am open to receive. Good. I have found this put paid to a lot of blocks. Yeah. So yeah, that's the next stage, isn't it? So we get into the feeling, we manifest, we figure out what it is we want, and then we send it out to manifest it, and then we are in the energy of receiving. I am open and willing and able to receive. If you can't receive a compliment, how do you think you're going to receive this thing coming from the universe? You're not open to receive, all right? It's oh, well, that's different. No, it's not. No, it's not. The universe doesn't differentiate between here's a ton of money, here's your life partner, and here's your happiness. It doesn't differentiate between any of that and here's a compliment. The universe doesn't see big and small. It just sees things. It doesn't judge. We judge them as big or small. The universe doesn't. If you can't receive a compliment without feeling blushing and awkward and embarrassed, you are not open to receive. So work on it, okay? Work on it. I am open to receive. It was one of my blocks, especially, when I started my YouTube channel, that, to suddenly have hundreds of people telling me I'm amazing and awesome. I was like, oh, thank you very much. I'm just me. I'm nothing special. Oh, that's not me open to receive, is it? Okay, thank you very much. You appreciate me. You're telling me you appreciate me, and I receive that with gratitude and thanks. I don't feel embarrassed about it. I don't feel awkward about it. I feel blessed. Thank you very much. I feel appreciative. I'm open to receive. Make sense? Good, good. Okay. All right, let me see some more of your comments. Libra love, you're very welcome. Glad that helps. Okay. Kerry, yes, I'm going home to Wales. I'm moving back to Taffland, where I'm from. Okay. Christine, I have a question about removal blocks and the negative thought comes back in the middle of the day. What can I do? Okay, keep working on the same block. All right, you haven't got it all. Think about a block as an infection. You know, when they give you antibiotics, you've got to get every last bit of germ. Otherwise, the bits left will just regrow. You've got to get it all. Okay. You've got another reading with me on Maddie. Monday? Yes, you have, haven't you, Maddie? Thank you. No, Kerry, I'm going to Wales. I'm actually, even though I don't really sound it, I'm actually from Cardiff in Wales, and I'm moving to near Bridgend. Cardiff prices were a little bit beyond me at the moment. If I'd waited a year, I could have had Cardiff, but I want to go now, so I'm having Bridgend, and it's where I'm meant to be right now. Terry King, thank you. Thank you very much for being happy for me. And Magdalene's saying I'm beautiful too. Good, good. Peace. Hi, thank you. I want to get somewhere in my life. I ask over and over again, what am I supposed to be doing? How do we manifest and we don't know exactly what we want? Good question. You can't manifest when you don't know what you want. So what you do is you start with, what do you want to feel? What do you want to feel? You want to feel happy. You want to feel enriched. You want to feel fulfilled. You want to feel that your life has meaning. You want to feel that your relationships are important and special. What do you want to feel? That's where you start, okay? And in those feelings, when you identify those feelings, and the more you identify them and step into them by saying, I want to feel happy. I am happy. I want to do a job that makes me feel inspired, that I look forward to going to work every day. I want a job where I'm going to connect with amazing people, where I'm going to be part of a tribe. And can you feel the energy? You know, and I am saying this, I don't want a job, I got one, I love my job, but I'm saying this and just feeling it and imagine how good that feels, right? Then you're in that feeling, and then let go of the what. Say to the universe, show me the path towards a job that's going to give me that feeling. I don't care what the job is. I want the feeling that I just described. Now the job and me will align up. Okay, now I don't even necessarily need to know what that job is. I just know that I've told the universe I want a job that aligns with that feeling I just had, right? So now they are lining that up. Now they're going to give me some inspired action to do. So when they found a job that aligns with that feeling that I was just feeling, they will give me a nudge and they'll say, oi, go and I'll suddenly think, I wonder if there's any new jobs on the jobs market this week. I think I'll have a little look at the internet and I'll go and look, and there'll be a job that I would never have looked at before or never noticed. And all of a sudden I'm going, oh, that looks interesting. Oh, and then I read the job description and I go, oh, and I start to feel that excitement. And I have a saying, does it make your heart sing? Okay. Does it make your bells ring? Does it make your being feel excited? Right, that's the job I'm applying for. All right, so don't worry about the what, get into the feeling. The feeling will lead you to the what. Okay, all right. You're welcome, Winston. Becky Long, you love the sound of mirror work. It's brilliant, okay? And another thing that really works with the mirror work, you know, you can sit in front of you, whether it's your shaving mirror, your makeup mirror, you look yourself right in the eyes, and you hold that look, okay? You hold it. Now, I want you to just notice how long can you hold it, because do you know what's actually about average? About 20 seconds. Okay. Now ask yourself, when you fell in love with that person, whether you're still with them or not, doesn't matter. When you were first in love, and how long did you used to gaze into each other's eyes and fall into each other like that? Ages. You could hold each other's look without blinking. without moving, not wanting to tear your gaze away. You could do that for minutes and minutes and minutes, but you can't hold your own gaze for more than 20 seconds. This is how we do self-love. So you can set yourself a timer on your phone for 2 minutes and say, I'm going to stare. I'm looking at the camera, right? So, but not if this was a mirror, I'd be looking at my eyes in the mirror, and I would be just gazing into my own eyes, and I would be saying, hello, you. How are you doing? How's your day? If it's first thing in the morning, I might be saying, how did you sleep? And I would hold the look. And then I would find at least 5 things to complement that reflection. All right, you look pretty today. Your eyes look lovely. Your skin's good. Hair's shining. You're so lovely. I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad that you're my friend. I'm so glad that you're inside me. I'm so glad to be part of you. I'm so glad we're in this together. Because I can't go anywhere without you, and you can't go anywhere without me. So it's good that we're best friends, because you are my best friend. And I protect and love my best friend. And I nurture and support my best friend. And I look after my best friend. And I'm there for my best friend. And I don't let anybody put my best friend down without me going, oi, don't speak to her like that. Don't speak to him like that. That's what I do when I love somebody. And when I love me, that's what I do for me. Okay? So when you're using those words with yourself, you feel it in here. And another good place to do it is in the bath. For those of you who've got a bath and a bathroom, particularly a bathroom that's tiled, shut the door, shut the windows, fill the bath right up deep, get in that bath, right? And then say out loud your own name and say, I love you. And it echoes off the walls because of the water and the tiles, and it comes bang into your heart that I love you. And you will really feel it, and do it every time you get in the bath until it feels really natural to you to receive it and to say it. All right? This is law of attraction, loving you. You want love in your life. It won't come if you don't love you. Okay? Who you are with you is what comes back to you in terms of relationships with other people. Somebody's done you dirty, you've done yourself dirty. If somebody isn't trusting you, you don't trust you. If somebody isn't trustworthy, then you're not trusting you and you're letting yourself down. And it's being reflected back to you by that person that is your lover or your partner or your daughter or your friend. It's always a reflection of you. Okay? So we can't fix them, but we go in here and say, I need to fix that part that's being reflected back to me. And then I'm aligned with what I'm choosing to manifest, which is love and happiness. That's all any of us want. All right? Let me read some more of your comments. Cherry, love the language. Yeah, sorry. I do try not to swear. My clients know that I do a bit, but I do try not to swear live on my channel or on any of my readings. Earth Mother Dragon, hello. Feel some of the lack feeling comes from ancestry. What do you think of this? Good luck with your move. Thank you very much. Very good question. And yes, it can do. Okay, so that's one of the things about blocks. All right, so not to freak you out, but we've got our blocks from our belief systems and our experiences. We can also have karmic ancestral blocks that we inherited from our ancestors. So these are what we call hereditary blocks, okay? So that can be kind of within my DNA, but they can be shifted as well. And you can use the words cancel, delete. You can use the words neutralize. They will all do the same thing with the intention. And you can also use words of I am me and nobody else. I am me and nobody else. Very powerful words, okay? It's a command. And what it's saying is that any energy that isn't actually mine has to leave me right now, okay? Because I am me and nobody else. Nothing that isn't me is allowed in this space. So anything I've inherited from my mother, father, and their mothers and fathers going back, I am neutralizing across all space, time, and dimensions. All right. When I work with a client with healing, that's the sort of thing that I do. So you can use those words yourself. I am neutralizing that, whatever it was, across all space, time, and dimensions. All right. It works. Say it 3 times and then say it is done. All right. So Cherry E. The part where they say don't say this word, don't phrase it that way, say it and let it go. Then someone else will say the affirmation every day, say it 3 times, say it once. It's also confusing. Okay, I understand. All right. Generally, when you're making a command, then to say it 3 times really strengthens it. It's like if you're telling a child you're going to bed. You're going to bed. You're going to bed. That strengthens it. The kid's like, right, fine, I'm going to bed. All right. When we say something 3 times and mean it, it just puts more power, energy behind it, which gives it more rocket fuel. Okay, so when I'm making a command like I am me and nobody else, or I am neutralizing that across all space, time and dimensions, it's a command, and I'll say it 3 times and then I'll say it is done, so be it, which basically means that's finished, done, right, next. Okay, so that there's no crossover of energy. But none of these are rules. Okay, they're guidance, they're advice. This is it works better if you do it like that, a little bit like if you were learning any game. Let's take football, soccer. Okay, that if you were learning to play soccer, they would be saying to you, if you could kick the ball with the front of your toe, you won't have as much control than if you kick it with the side of your toe. You have more control doing it that way. You get a better aim. It's a little bit like that with the law of attraction. So any old owl, kick the bloody ball. That'll be fine. But as you learn to polish it, these little bits I'm teaching you and other teachers will teach you, you get more control over the aim and it's more likely to hit its target. But don't worry about all of the polished bits. Like when you learn anything at the beginning, just get the basics and then add the more polished bits afterwards. All right? Okay, you're doing brilliantly, by the way. Okay. Enriching, good word. Yeah. Okay. Cherry seeing 93 and 1, 2, 3, 4 almost every day. Okay, so 9 is coming to the ends of something, almost there. 3 is expansion. This is saying that you're coming to the end of something ready to expand. And 1, 2, 3, 4, a run of numbers going up is showing growth. It's like that's where you're going. That's the trajectory. That's the projectory. That's where we expect you to go. Vivian is saying, hold on, I'm getting throat. Vivian's saying she doesn't know which numbers to win with now. She used to see 555 or 444 or 357, and that's the numbers you used to win with. Now you don't know. So ask your inner being. Okay, what numbers do you want me to work with now? And allow them to come. They'll come. Okay. These rock today. Oh, good word. I'm glad you were enjoying it. Winston, dreaming of your late husband leaving me beautiful homes and abundantly well off with much family and friends. There you go. So focus on that energy. It was his time to go and he's crossed over, and you are now focused on what you want to feel. So what do you want to feel? You want to feel there is a flow of abundance. You want to feel there's a flow of love and support. Focus on that and allow it to come. Okay. Oh, thank you, Vivian. Thank you. There's Zita Zuri. Hello, darling. Thank you very much. I was talking about you earlier, telling everybody about how amazing your channel is, and they've got to go and watch you, and they've got to go and check you out. And yeah, so welcome. I've just jumped through a load of questions. I'm just scrolling back a little bit so that I don't miss people. I do like to try and read everything that you've said. So we talked about the ancestry there. Okay, so I'm with Earth Mother Dragon. So we've discussed that, and we discussed that and that. Okay, Winston, Cherry E. I had a tarot reader tell me that I was never going to have a lot of money, but I would always have just enough, so I accepted it. See, that's shit. That's so bad. Okay, yeah. So please take that belief that was implanted. It's a learned behaviour. All right? Somebody gave you that. And you went, okay, I'll take that, I'll eat those words, and I'll believe that for the rest of my life that I'll never have enough. And so consequently, I'm aligned with never having enough. So consequently, I don't have enough. Okay, so take that belief and literally neutralize, delete across all space, time and dimensions. And you just keep repeating it day in, day out until you totally believe it's gone. Because I'm telling you, that's complete bullshit. And whoever that reader was should be sacked. Okay. All right. Carrie, what a windfall, Julie. Absolutely. Within a week. Yeah, it was incredible. And my son, yeah, I've got two amazing sons, but my youngest son and me, we are very connected. So he is a great son. Winston, lol. Okay. Dixie Blue, I'm glad I've motivated you to get out of rental as well. So yeah, you see, no matter if we think, I was thinking I'm too old now to get a mortgage, in terms of that, the payments would just be ridiculous at that kind of money. But actually it's within my budget. But I had beliefs that I was too old. You can also have beliefs that you're too young, can't get a mortgage till, I've got a partner, there's two incomes, so I can't get a mortgage on my own. I wouldn't earn enough. It's amazing what you can achieve. Okay. Winston, Abraham Hicks, I'm a little hard of hit. Yes, it is Abraham Hicks, exactly as you've put it there, Winston. Okay, it's Abraham Hicks. The link is probably below somewhere. I don't know if I have put the link. But yeah, if you just, her real name is, Esther Hicks. Okay, with a H. Jeannie Johnson, inspiring and fabulous. Good. I am here to inspire you. I am here to motivate you. I am here to show you you can do this. Okay, you can absolutely do this. How do you get over a death and move on? Husband passed away 4 years ago. Esther, so it's feeling into the grief. It's choosing. Law of attraction. I am ready to let go of the grief and move on. I am ready to know joy again. I am ready to know happiness again. My husband would want me to be happy. My love for my husband doesn't have to be attached to the guilt, the grief that I felt when he went, or the anger I felt. I can let it all go now. So you set the intention in your mind of what you want, and then you ask for guidance. Sometimes maybe you need to be led to a counsellor, a therapist, a grief counsellor. You might be led to a book on letting go, or a podcast, or a video. But once you truly decide something, I am ready to let go, I am ready to move on, I am ready to be happy again, and then you ask for signs and signals, be open to receive, and you will get the help you need guided towards you. All right, my love? Okay. Jeannie, you're very welcome. Thank you very much for the blessing. Thank you. Cherry's giving lots of love there to Glenda. Cindy, I feel like I have a block for large sums of money. Okay. Oh, thank you for the super chat. It's very kind. Yeah, there you go. See, there's a block, Cindy R. Okay, we tend to think I could probably manifest a 5 or a 10 or maybe 100, but I couldn't manifest 1 million. So start small and work up. Go and watch some of my Money Magic Monday clearing your money blocks videos, or buy the Unlock Your Block program for wealth that is linked below. Okay. Classic Designs, no need to apologise for being late, sweetheart. You just show up when you can. That's fine. Nalido, Mollio, that's awesome. Congratulations on the 3 years. Thank you very much. Been watching since then, right from the beginning of you. Oh, bless you. Back when I started, I was unemployed, and with your help, I managed to manifest what was then my dream job. Oh, congratulations. Well done. So you were fabulous, thank you very much, but you did it. Okay, so I showed you the way, and then you ran with the ball and you made it happen. You manifested it. See, I'm telling you people, it works. Okay, congratulations, that's amazing. Esther, you're welcome. Gloria, oh, thank you, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Julie Kaliki, I heard once, if you think is small sums, you will get small. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I assume this comes from not feeling worthy and would be a block. Correct. It's a belief. Big money's for other people. I might be lucky enough to get a £5. It's a belief, and we receive what we're aligned with. If we believe we can only receive small amounts, that is all we'll get. It doesn't have to be linked with worth. It's generally linked with the belief. So change the belief, okay? Chameleon Kimber, hello in Oregon. Yes, it is where Richard Burton was born, about 5 miles away from where I'll be living, Winston. That's correct. Gail Jones. Hang on, you've just gone. Hang on. It just jumps. I've got to find you again. Hold on, there we are. What is the best way to make a manifestation? Write it down, pray. There's no real best ways. I've explained quite a lot about getting into the feeling of it. Perhaps watch the replay when we finish this. You feel what you want to feel, and then you sort of jump on that like a surfer riding a wave, and you feel the feelings towards what that would manifest for you. And then you add in some general detail, but don't get too specific, okay? So you can write it down, you can pray, you can meditate. I like to do it just before I go to bed. I'm lying in bed just drifting off, and I'm saying to the universe, thank you for bringing me my lovely new home, or whatever it is I'm manifesting. And I go to sleep with that thought, because your last thought is going to be with you for the next 8 hours that you sleep, working away in the background. So make your last thought at night a good one, not a negative one, okay? Blessings is really good at night as well. Thanking, what the good stuff, thinking over your day and the good stuff that's happened, going to sleep in a good mood, in an attitude of gratitude. You're likely to wake up the next morning then with a spring in your step, because you've had 8 hours of percolating. Think of yourself like a slow cooker, all right? And in your slow cooker, you've put all the good things you want to feel, and you wake up the next morning and they've all cooked beautifully and juicy and lovely and ready to go, okay? All right, Sean Hill. My significant other of 13 years took his life 2 years ago. Okay, and I can see the future without him. Being 60, I feel like a child in trying to make any decisions at all. Okay, you haven't let go of this, and you haven't accepted it. The fact that you know how many days it is, rather than, just over 2 years, is significant that you are very stuck in that loss. So I would suggest that you set the intention that you're ready to let go and find your independence, to find your freedom, to find your empowerment, and then ask the universe to guide you to that, whether that be books on moving on from a loss, moving on from grief, a counsellor, or whatever. Then it comes from you. Everything comes from you. All right. So as long as you're sat in that energy saying, this is the way it is, it hurts and it's hard and it's difficult and I can't do this and I struggle, then that's what it goes on. When you decide, I don't want this anymore, I'm finding my way out of this big dark hole, I'm going to climb my way out. Bless you. Thank you so much, the super chat. Then when you decide you're climbing yourself out of the hole, the universe will help you. Okay. They won't do it for you. They'll do it with you. But you've got to make the first move. Okay. So now we're down to Zita. Hello. Thank you very much. DM driver. Hello. That's Dawn. How can I forgive someone that I've been angry with for years? I want to move on from this person, but feel I am stuck because of years of resentment. Okay. Really good question. Okay. When we are holding on to anger and resentment, the only person it's hurting is us. Not hurting them, because they can't feel it and they don't know and they don't care. Probably. So the only person that's hurting is you. So self-love would say, would I be angry at my best friend who's never done me any harm? No. Well, I am my own best friend. I've never deliberately done me any harm. So why am I angry with myself? And you say, I'm not angry with myself, I'm angry with him. Yeah, but he's not feeling it. I'm feeling it, and my inner self is feeling that anger vibrating all the way through me. Do I want to feel like this the rest of my life? Because it's up to me, nobody else. So again, it's a similar answer to the question I just answered. You decide, when is enough enough? When is enough pain enough pain? When is enough anger? When is enough resentment enough resentment? When is enough? Okay, law of attraction says you get what you are. You're angry and resentful. So ask yourself, in all honesty, look around you at the relationships that in your life now, jobs, colleagues, bosses, friends, are people very regularly being angry and resentful with you? Are you finding people are very short with you or not really understanding you? Because that's what the law of attraction is very likely to be bringing you, because that's the vibrational resonance that you are on. So it keeps hurting you over and over and over. So you choose, you decide, I am the master of my destiny. I am choosing to move past this and forgive and let go. and then find your way to receiving the guidance to forgive and let go. Okay. All right, my darling, I hope that helps. Zita, oh my God, I do this. What do you do, sweetheart? What do you do? Because you would have put that comment in quite a long time after I was up there talking. So what is it you do? Oh, I just jumped again. Thank you. Kaziem, you have to forgive yourself. Yes. Okay, well done. Sue Miles. Hello, Sue. Moved to Canada 1 year ago to be near family, but don't feel settled. When I can thinking, should I come home? Need medical stuff. And no, I'm not giving personal advice, Sue. Sorry, this isn't a tarot readings. I'm not doing personal advice. Sorry, love. Saraya Harmony, you're very welcome. Sean Hill, how do you get past losing your cigarette? Oh, we've done that one. Okay. Glenda, big hug. Sean, okay. What does seeing 911 mean? Depends where you are in the world. If you're in America, 911 is the emergency number, isn't it? In England, it's 999 in the UK. But 911 would mean, I would guess, that you are energetically seeing an emergency, and that is why you keep seeing that number. There's some part of you that is an emergency. Some part of you is like, we need to look at this, there's something going on. Okay. Gemma Gurley, hi. Winston, don't let yourself down. Good. Being honest, loving and supporting of myself. Good. I'm only me and nobody else. Well done. All right. Vivian, you're welcome. Sherry E, you're welcome. Lauren Grillo, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm not doing tarot. It's on the screen here, please. This is a live chat about energy on only, no personal readings today. And Lauren, you just jumped in. Okay. Cherry E, thank you so much for the super chat. Right. Blessed, had to pop off now, but I'm back. Glad to see you still live. I'm going to be going off in a moment, and my throat is starting to get tired after talking for nearly 2 hours, and I've been doing readings all week as well. Chaos Gone Away. Hello, good morning, good evening. Thank you very much. Lauren, no darling, I am not doing messages. It said it in the title and it says it on the screen. I am going live tomorrow twice to do tarot messages, okay? So tomorrow at 12 noon UK time and 6 p.m. UK time. And Zita Zuri, if you would like to do a joint live for some of that part of it, one of them, let me know, because I'll do it on Zoom so you can jump on with me. Otherwise I use OBS, so let me know. You just drop me an email, sweetheart. My link is below if you want to do a joint live with me. Okay, and go and check out Zita's channel, Zita Zuri. Okay, brilliant tarot reader, incredible intuitive, unbelievably advanced spiritual psychic lady. Beautiful. Okay, so where am I down here? Sean, you've read over 20 books and have been in counselling. I've tried everything. I came across your channel today. Be following for guidance. Thank you. You're very, very welcome. Sean, maybe you want to book in a healing session with me if that feels right for you. I tend to get the people, bless them, who've been everywhere else and can't find for the healing side and can't get their answers, and then they come to me. I'm kind of last chance saloon. I usually sort it out for people, but only if it resonates and feels right for you. The link is below if you want to book in. Okay. Falexa Sky is asking, what if the person you have to forgive keeps being in your life, exes and children together? It's tougher, without a doubt, but it also gives more opportunities for quicker forgiveness because they're around. So you can see it as a blessing or a curse. It depends on your point of view. But whenever you have children and you're divorced, you will have to have the ex, the father of the children, in your life for the rest of your life. There are going to be weddings when the children grows up. There's going to be christenings. There's going to be grandchildren's birthdays. There is always going to be contact. And that is the way that it's best to look at it and say, okay, let's imagine we've been married 5 years. We've got a 3-year-old and we're splitting up. If we have a bad goodbye and we hate each other's guts, this bad goodbye can potentially go on for the next 50 years. Do I really want that when I'm in my 70s? Do I really want that hassle from, an arsehole who hurt me back when I was 23 or something? Really? It's like, right, we tend to get stuck in the moment. You've hurt me and I will never forgive you. That's how it felt in the moment, and that's all right. You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to not forgive them in that moment. But you've really got to say to yourself, how long do I choose, listen to my words, how long do I choose to let this go on? I choose. Nobody's making me do this to myself. I am choosing to do this to myself. How long do I choose this to go on? Right? My daughter's father hurt me terribly. I have to see him at least once a year at my grandchild's birthday. It was 30 years ago. Do you know what I mean? I let it go a long time ago, so that I can see him and his wife happily without any animosity at our grandchild's birthday party. Okay, you start looking a little bit further ahead and saying to yourself, will this really matter in 5 years time or 10 years time when we both moved on with other partners? Will it really matter? Yes, they hurt me, but how long do I choose to hold on to that hurt? Or do I choose to step into my power and say, I am choosing to let this go? I don't have to forgive him. I can forgive his bad behaviour because he can't help being an idiot. Not his fault, he's a dickhead, And that helps me to forgive and move on, which frees me from that pain, which is what I want. Okay. So, where we go? Read that. I hope that helps answer. Allow yourself to think further ahead. Okay. Am I able to do a video on numerology? I won't do a video on numerology. I'm not enough of an expert. Okay. With numerology, I'm a bit of an astrology, a bit of jack of all trades and master of none. I know a little bit about numerology and a little bit about astrology and a little bit about crystals. I know a lot about the law of attraction, and I know a lot about spirituality and energy. So I tend to try and stay in my lane. But I will always hold hands up to say, I don't know if I don't know. Okay. Dixie Blue, glad you enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it too. It's lovely to connect with you guys. You follow me and I like to be able to give a little bit back. I know I do with all your weeklies and your monthlies that are all free help for you, but it's nice to actually connect in a chat with you and sort of say hello. Becky, you're very welcome. You feel inspired to declutter and then enjoy my new home. My clutter is clearly my block. Good, well done. There's actually, for all of you guys, there's a very strong energy of decluttering at the moment. All right, it's generally coming in next week. I usually feel the energy in advance. I started decluttering today. I cleared my calendar today from clients because I wanted to get on with next month's readings. I need to get a little bit ahead of myself at the moment because when you're buying a house in the UK, I'm a first-time buyer, a house is empty. It could happen in 6 weeks. It might drag on for 12, but we won't know until you usually get like a week's notice. We're ready to exchange contracts. Go, go, go. So I've been kind of looking. I feel we'll be ready to go middle of March. Which is about 6 weeks. So I thought I want to get ahead of myself and let's get March's readings done. So that I've got to pack, I've got to do all, so that I'm a little bit ahead. Anyway, so I did that yesterday and they're done and they're ready to go live middle of February. So you have them in advance like you usually do. And today I was going to get on with April's and I got it this morning and I was like, no, I need to start selling stuff that I can't take with me because the house I'm moving to is a lot smaller than the house I'm in, about a third smaller. So there's a lot of furniture that I can't take. So I literally got up and I was decluttering, bedding, clothes, coming down from 2 wardrobes to 1 wardrobe, getting rid of so much stuff and measuring and putting stuff on Facebook and decluttering. And I spent all morning doing that. And then I said to them, why big decluttering energy? And they're like, yeah, that's what's coming in on Monday. Oh, okay. I'm ahead of the game. So just to give you a heads up, we are in that energy and it's to clear it, ready for us to move into this new energy come the spring. Okay. Chaos gone away, drink some tea. I'm gasping for a cup of tea, mate. I'm going for a cup of tea in a minute. Yeah, my throat's actually quite sore. I've done so much talking. I did all of March's readings yesterday, 12 plus I did 5 clients, so it was my throat's a bit, so I didn't try and do April's today. I don't think my throat would have coped. Okay, so I think I've answered all of your questions. I have thoroughly enjoyed this chat. I hope you have too. And I hope that some of the answers I've given you have helped guide you on using the law of attraction. And if you identify any blocks that you've got, the program link is below. It's $9.99. Blocks to money, love, health, smoking, drinking, I can't remember, there's 7 of them anyway. They're all there if you want them. And I will see some of you live for the live show tomorrow. I am going to be sticking to the rules. I've got to, because it went to shit last Saturday and it wasn't nice. So I will be sticking to the rules. So it's super chat only. If your question is not in the super chat box, it will not get answered. It will be classed as a donation, and I am going to stick to that religiously. And I'm only going to accept questions the first 45 minutes, and then I'm closing the super chat to any more questions, because last week it went on. I closed it around about 10 to after 50 minutes, and I think there were about 50 readings that I did, which is too many. It's too many. So I'm going to try and manage it a little bit better, and I have got a moderator as well now. A very lovely lady kindly offered to be a moderator for me to help me manage the chat. So that's amazing. If anybody else would like to be a moderator and is around tomorrow for these lives, do let me know in the live chat tomorrow. Okay, all right, I'm going to close it there. I'm going to go and have a cup of tea. I hope you have a lovely evening, afternoon, day, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Okay, lots of love. Bye-bye.